has a big job on his hands. What do you take from those numbers, Glenn? Because they are quite worrying if you think of it from a United point of view.
Yes, they did get a clean sheet, but I think it wasn't convincing. Their defence wasn't convincing. Listen, it goes down a clean sheet and we look back on it, brilliant. 2 clean sheets on the bounce in the Premier League, great news. But for me, if they're up against a little bit more quality they concede today, from a Norwich point of view, I think it's brilliant. I think Dean Smith will be delighted. More performances like that for Norwich will see them get out of the relegation zone without doubt.
But I guess the main thing overall, if we go from Manchester United's perspective, is that they won the game.
Look, you just got to find a way to win games. That's the most important thing. You know, that is... Ole couldn't... They weren't playing when they weren't winning games. And, you know, obviously, and things had to change. They were conceding, you know, 5 against Liverpool, you know, 3 against, you know, City, and then the game against Watford was the nail in the coffin. I don't mind if, ideally, you want them to play great every game and win. But the way they played against Palace and the way they played against... OK, today was poor in comparison with the Palace game, but they won. And it's going to take time with the new manager. A lot of players are trying to find their position within the team. Offensively, more needs to come. But David De Gea, probably with Ronaldo, has been their best player this season. We saw that again today. And a clean sheet is the basis for every great team.
We will discuss the match in a lot more detail, but let's get some post-match reaction and hear from the United captain. Here's Harry Maguire.
Well, Harry, sometimes I guess you've just got to find a way. Is that what this evening was all about? Find a way?
Yeah, definitely. It was a tough game. We didn't play as well as we'd like to play, of course. Everyone's seen that, but sometimes you've got to dig in, keep a clean sheet, 1-0 away from home. It was a good atmosphere. It was tough conditions to play in, but no, it was a tough game, but a great win and an important 3 points and a clean sheet for us.
So you talked about it already, but what did you make of the performance? Not at last week's level, certainly.
No, for sure, but I think when you're playing week in, week out and game after game, some performances aren't going to be at the highest of level. We know what we want to do. We want to reach the level where every week it's high intensity and demanding, and we knew today, we spoke about in the changing room just then, that we wasn't at our best, but we had to dig deep, we had to stick together, we had to show spirit, and we did that and we got the 3 points. But for sure, we need to play better than that if we want to achieve what we want to achieve.
In part, is it adjusting to the new manager and his demands, maybe a different kind of week in training?
Yeah, I think there's obviously you can look at it, but I think today the most important thing was the 3 points. Like I said, it was tough conditions. They put us under pressure. They played aggressive. We tried to go aggressive, and our intensity wasn't the same as what it was against Crystal Palace. So we fell a little bit behind on that depart, but we stuck together. We knew how important clean sheets are, and if we keep clean sheets, we've got a great chance of winning football matches. So we've done that again tonight, and we need to build on that.
So did you somehow find it quite hard to be aggressive in your pressing this evening?
I wouldn't say we found it hard. I think there was times where we was aggressive in the pressing, and we pressed them high and pushed them up the pitch. I feel the last 25 minutes of the first half, and then we come out the second half, and they probably had the better of it with the amount of set plays and corners that they had, and then we pushed them back, and we got the goal that I felt in the game that we had the amount of pressure and in the game, and then the last 10-15 minutes we didn't look after the game well enough in terms of keeping control of the ball, and we sat back a little bit too deep. But no, I don't think we lacked the intensity of the pressure. The lads give everything, but I think it was a day-to-day to dig in, and I think you see the top teams do it. They don't play well every week, and they get results, and they grind out results, and we've done that today.
How good was David? He's just walked behind you. How good was David De Gea, and how important is another clean sheet, 2 in a row in the league?
Yeah, it's really important. We've been very disappointed with our defensive record this year. That's everyone can see that we've conceded far too many goals, not enough clean sheets, and David's pulled off 2 or 3 big saves there to keep the clean sheet, and obviously top saves from a top keeper, and that's what we expect. So. No, I'm sure he'll be pleased. He'll be pleased with the clean sheet because we haven't had many, and we need to get more. We know that we need to work hard, but 2 on the bounce now. We need to build on and go again on Tuesday.
Just last one. How is Victor Lindelof? It looks just a little bit concerning when he came off.
Yeah, he's in the changing room. He felt a bit of discomfort. I don't really know too much details. You're probably going to find out a little bit more over the next few days, but he seemed fine in there. He just felt a little bit discomfort, and obviously we all wish him well.
That's good to hear. Thank you.
Thank you.
We also wish Victor Lindelof all the best. We hope he's okay. OK, so Harry Maguire was quite honest there, wasn't he? He did say they needed to play better, which I think we all know. Anyone watching the game would have read that from it. But Glenn, tell me, does it take time to get used to a new manager's way of playing? This is a new system. It's a new way of doing things. Is this something that we just have to accept might happen for a few weeks until they get used to it?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's not a slight change. It's a big change, especially for the forward players. It is going to take time. That they lacked fluidity today. Didn't think the intensity was there in the press as it was last week. Listen, it is going to be a process for Manchester United. It's going to take time. I expect it not to take as much time because they're world-class players. They're used to adapting to different situations. They all go off to international games and they adapt their style of play. I think Ralph Rangnick will expect more. He'll be happy to get out of Norwich, 3 points and a clean sheet, but he'll expect more next week.
Well, let's actually have a look at the moment that decided this match. And it was down to another penalty, which I still can't believe. It's just been a match week of penalties. But this is the incident. Talk us through this one, Owen.
Well, I mean, first of all, Max Aarons, I mean, it's the biggest mismatch in the whole game. I mean, Max Aarons is probably 5'9" against Cristiano Ronaldo 6'1". He's got no chance. He's behind him. He wants him to stop jumping for the header. He puts his arms on him and then he drags him back. I mean, it's such an easy call for the referee. And you see Bruno miss at the back post, but easy decision for the referee. Easy
decision. And then when Ronaldo steps up to the mark, it's only going one way, isn't it?
Well, I think that's all everyone comes to watch, isn't it? He ruthlessly puts it in the back of the net, and then the famous celebration with I think even some of the Norwich fans joined in with the Sue at the end there. But that's what Manchester United need, ruthlessness, and when he got his chance, he took it.
So that was the goal, that's the moment, the famous celebration once again. But of course, they are indebted to their goalkeeper, David De Gea, as well, because he made a good few saves in this match.
Yeah, he's been world-class this season. I mean, his shot stopping is exceptional. One of the best in the Premier League, and he's back to his best now, making saves. He's in these situations, you just expect him to make the save. I know that one is, we expect that from David De Gea now, but I just think he made so many good saves in the game. His reactions are back to the best. And him and Ronaldo have been United's two best players this season. So it tells you that United can only win something if David is bad as world-class best to go with the rest of the team. And that's the best save he made all game. Brilliant reaction.
Yeah, and considering, Glenn, I mean, he's had a bit of a tough time, hasn't he? But this season, as Owen said, we're seeing some really good moments from him and important moments from him. Yeah, definitely. I think we're seeing him maybe wobble a little bit over the past season, lost his way slightly. But I think without doubt he's back to his best. And we just see there his defenders stepping up for him. Two really good shots there from Billy Gilmour. He tries to go back across. And to be honest, I think he looks like he's got that cover and he looks quite comfortable. But save after save here at the back stick. Over-reliant for me, I think. Brilliant that he's making those saves, and very important saves indeed, but over-reliant from a Manchester United defensive point of view. OK, well, as you've just seen, David De Gea was crucial today. He really stepped up. He made 5 really important saves, and his team have earned all 3 points. Let's hear from the man himself. Welcome back to Match Day Live. So it's goalless at half-time at Carrow Road. Glenn Murray, Owen Hargreaves are here with me in the studio to discuss it all. And we didn't really get much time pre-match to talk about United, Owen. What have you made of them under Rangnick so far? I know it's early days, but the impact's there, is it not? Yeah, well, it was against Crystal Palace. I mean, the revolution has been halted ever so slightly. Yeah, but they were goalless at half-time then as well, weren't they? Yeah, but it was a clear identity, the way they played. They squeezed in the opposition's half. They pressed, the intensity was there, which was missing under Ole, and clean sheets. So far, they kept a clean sheet against Palace, and defensively, they've been OK. But attacking-wise, it hasn't really been that fluid today. With all the attacking players they have on the pitch, it feels like they're trying to get used to the new formation that they're playing. And offensive-wise, with the talent that they have, you'd like to think they create more than they did in that first half. We'll come to that, actually, in a moment. But let's talk quickly about Norwich, because I guess Dean Smith will be pretty pleased with it being goalless at half-time, considering he has the depleted squad. He has COVID cases amongst his players and injuries. And, you can see them playing with a bit more confidence, all things considered. And they've lost their centre-back, Grant Hanley. That's their two starting centre-backs out now with Gibson before the game. So I think that first half, from a Norwich perspective, they'll be really happy. They've got in behind Manchester United a couple of times. They've created chances. Been a little bit sloppy around the 18-yard box, but so far Dean Smith will be very happy with his players. It was quite a frustrating opening, 25 minutes as far as Man United are concerned. But then they did start to have a few chances, didn't they, Owen?
Yeah, I mean, this is a free kick from Telles. Takes a big deflection. I think it was Sargent gets a flick and goes out, hits the crossbar there. This one, Ronaldo. You think normally he'd pull the trigger, he just chops again, and I think in the end it's a comfortable save from Krul. But that was really it, Seema. And you would have thought with all the attacking players out there, they would have created a bit more.
Yeah, I guess you were expecting the same as well, Glenn.
Yeah, I think everyone was, and we see there one of the best chances has come off the back of Harry Maguire's head. I wouldn't even call it a chance, to be honest, but both of the goalkeepers have... Tim Krul's made the two biggest saves of the game so far, but we can see here there's just a lack of forward runners for Manchester United, which really condenses the pitch. No one's willing to break that Norwich backline, even if it's selfless, even if it's not for the ball, even if it's just a stretch for the 10s to get a pocket of space to be able to turn and then start playing from that point. But I think, the Norwich back four will be happy. Look, there's no one testing them in behind. They're happy just with... as a professional footballer, if someone stood in front of you, you're happy. If he's running the other way, that's when there's problems, because you've got to go with him, then it fractures that defensive line. But here we just see a lack. Ronaldo could drop in here and drag the centre-back with him, leave room for Fernandes and Sancho and Rashford to get in, but just a lack of movement at that top end of the pitch, isn't there, Owen?
Yeah, the front four are trying to figure each other out, and Glenn makes a great point. Somebody's got to run him behind, because if he runs him behind, the defenders go with him, and then there might be space to play into feet. But if everybody stands still, the attackers, the defenders are super comfortable with that. They're happy. Somebody needs to be positive, make a forward. Marcus is a great athlete. He needs to run forward. Jadon Sancho, he looks a bit lost in the game as well. Maybe they need a bit more width, but I think the focus for Ralph is the fullbacks, to get them touches, and they have lots of touches. But it looks like Bruno, super quiet. He was quiet against pass. Marcus hasn't been able to get in the game. So find a way, whether somebody runs him behind, and get a bit more width to create a bit more space.
As for Norwich, they've had some chances as well, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. They have probably had some of the better play around the 18-yard box. We can see it chopped in, put the ball in. Acres of space there, and it's shot across the Pookie. Probably just a little bit behind him there. Couldn't do much with it. But here, if he can get this out of his feet, look at Sargent at the back stick. He's wide open for a tap-in almost. At the moment, Dean Smith will be really happy. It's just a little bit more composure around that 18-yard box.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Footballers from the Past. In this episode, we are going to look back at the career of Park Ji-sung. Park Ji-sung is a South Korean former professional footballer who played as a midfielder. He is the most successful player in Asian history, having won 19 trophies in his career. He is the first Asian footballer to have won the UEFA Champions League, to play in a UEFA Champions League final, as well as the first Asian to have won the FIFA Club World Cup. Park was able to play anywhere across the midfield and was noted for his exceptional fitness level, discipline, work ethic and off-the-ball movement. His remarkable endurance levels earned him the nickname Three Lungs Park. He started his career at Kyoto Purple Sanga and made 76 appearances for the club, scoring 11 goals. In 2003, he moved to PSV Eindhoven, making 65 appearances and scored 13 goals in his 2 years at the club. In 2005, Park moved to Manchester United and made 134 appearances, scoring 19 goals for the club. In 2012, Park moved to Queen's Park Rangers and made 20 appearances for the club. In 2013-14 season, he was sent on loan to PSV Eindhoven and made 23 appearances, scoring 2 goals there. In total, Park made 318 club appearances, scoring 45 goals. At the national team level, Park made 100 appearances for South Korea in his 11-year career and scored 13 goals. When it comes to trophies, Park won the J2 League in 2001, the Emperor's Cup in 2002 at Kyoto Purple Sanga. At PSV Eindhoven, he won the Eredivisie twice, the KNVB Cup once, the Johan Cruyff Shield once. At Manchester United, he won the Premier League 4 times, the FA Cup 3 times, the Community Shield 4 times, and the UEFA Champions League once, and a FIFA Club World Cup. So that's it for this video. Goodbye.